we are here with Coach Thayer. I believe that's how you say it there. But Coach, you had a very good soccer season here for the Laquey Hornets. We talked about it earlier this week and get a chance to talk with you. And of course, you co-opted with Richland out here, but you had quite a few of these high school boys that was part of that team, and it's been success through the years, the soccer program here.
Yeah, we had a pretty good year this year. Obviously, making it back to the Final Four, anytime you can do that, and even repeat it within a few years, that's a pretty successful moment. Lots of coaches never get the opportunity to coach in one. I've been blessed now to do three. The boys this season, we started off pretty rough in the beginning and found our way. Kind of bought into the system a bit, believed we could be there. And went on a bit of a run towards the end of the season, winning like 8 in a row to get us into the Final Four. And really competing at in the first game, we were 0-0 to the final 34 seconds of the match. And gave up kind of a fluke of a goal. I was telling you earlier, I never wanted a timeout more in my life than I did in that last 10 minutes to be able to kind of get them refocused and bought in. But really proud of the boys and the effort there. And the co-op with Richland's been great. I hope it just continues to grow. I think you're going to see more and more of these small schools in the area in all sports. I mean, especially the ones that require 9, 10, 11 players to play them. There's just not as many kids playing sports. And my hope is, one, to grow the popularity of the sport, but giving kids that want the opportunity to play the game that wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise. And the co-op's been great for us.
And that co-op, that's also for girls, correct?
Yeah, we co-op. This is our second year now, and it is for boys and girls soccer.
All right, and then a lot of these kids, they know each other from the community, and they all, I'm sure they'll go up to Richland to go shopping, or they'll all go to Waynesville, or they'll go, they'll all get together. The gas station, obviously, literally not too far away, is the only gas station out here.
Yeah, on the boys' side, when they'll play later tonight, the boys will play each other as well. And there's quite a few of them that play for me on both sides of that. And they'll all tell you, obviously, in the game, they're going to compete against each other, and I hope they do. Because they're only pushing each other to be better as people and athletes all together. But off the court, they're best of friends. They're like family. There's no Richland Laquey between them. It's just a game, and they have to wear a different color jersey for this. And it has been that type of an environment that I've actually hoped would be the case. You'd hate for them to be coming and co-oping and then leaving angry or upset about it, and going and playing other sports and being against each other, and then ultimately having some sort of animosity. So on the girls here, I don't know. I'm hopeful that some of these girls will come play soccer for me this year. From the Richland girls team, there's quite a few athletes on that team. I'd love for them to come play for me.
And then not just Laquey and Richland, but a lot of these kids, they also go to Waynesville, to the Votex. I think all these schools here, I think Newburgh, I think they may split, but they may go to Rolla. But
they might,
everyone else, a lot of these kids see each other every day in school, because they'll go to the vocational school in Waynesville.
Yep.
And so it's not just two schools here, but this whole region, everyone kind of knows everyone, whether you're from the Frisco League schools or you go to Waynesville. It's kind of a big community.
I'm going to tell a little lie on myself, I guess. I graduated at Waynesville in 03, and I didn't even know Laquey was a school until the year I graduated. And the only reason I knew that is because that year was Laquey's first year as a soccer program, and they came and played our freshman team that year. And honestly, I just didn't know there was as much of as many schools in the area as close together as they are. I didn't know Plato was there, and what's wild about that is I lived here since 6th grade. It's like, man, 8 miles down the road, there's a whole other school, a whole other basketball environment, sports environment that's going on. And, now I've lived here for over 20, 30 years now in my life, and I love it here. It's a great environment.
Well, and as you look at the district boundaries for Lakeway, they actually go into the Waynesville city limits as Waynesville has come out this way. And
Yeah.
But Lakeway originally was a one-room schoolhouse out here that when Waynesville was basically combining to be one district, getting rid of, like Hooker was one, Gospel Ridge back in the day, and Lakeway didn't want to combine with Waynesville. So essentially they voted, and they were just an elementary for the first 30 years, and then they became a high school around 1980.
Yeah, I actually think Richland might have had a high school before. In fact, I know they did because that's where Lakeway kids would go to high school. They'd come here through K through 8 and then go to Richland for high school or Waynesville.
Yep. But no, this whole community here and the co-oping, you talked about it there, it seems to be more common among smaller schools, especially looking at this like Class 1, 8-man, and some of the Class 2 football programs are starting to go that direction now, where they're starting to co-op for just to keep teams, as you said.
Yeah, Class 1 girls soccer last year had a first state champion of a co-op school, Ellsbury Silence. I think it's, I just, when we decided to do this, I think a lot of people thought I was a little nuts, like, I don't know how this is going to work. But honestly, sustainability is a real challenge right now in the high school environment for athletics. Heck, when Waynesville girls soccer can't field a full junior varsity team sometimes in girls soccer, and that's a school of 1,200 kids, 1,200, something like that. Right?
Close to 18 this year.
1,800 kids, and they're not getting 30 girls. That's crazy. And we're a school of 160 plus Richland's another 90 or so. And you know, if we can get 17 girls out, we're doing pretty good. I would love to get where we are consistently getting 30 kids. 30 kids to play. I would love to get where we're consistently getting 30 kids to play. At 30 kids to play, girls soccer and boys soccer, to where we get up true varsity and JV. And this year on the boys side, we were really close to that. We actually played the most junior varsity games we've ever played in school history. We played somewhere around 13, 14 full junior varsity games, and that only happens because of the co-op. Yeah. And that is so important to a program for me.
So when you look around, you got quite a few soccer championship banners. They've kind of evolved over the years here, but so how's that going to look at Richland there? Is there going to be a red banner up there, or is there going to be a...
Well, we were just actually talking about that. So like co-oping has been in the MSHSAA handbook. It's just not really been something that has been super popular, but they're actually having to evolve and adapt as well. For example, at a state tournament, there were no district passes for the co-op school, or no state tournament passes for the co-op school. They gave us one additional pass for that. And that's something that we're discussing with MSHSAA going forward. Like, you need to consider the fact that a school could potentially co-op.
Well, because you may have a coach from Richland and a coach from Lakeway.
Yeah. Well, we want the
coaching together.
Yeah. We want the administrators from both schools there. It's not right that the co-op school would have to have their superintendent and the principal pay separate ticket. No. So there's things that are evolving. I think even we were just talking about that with Mr. McNabb, and they're going to purchase. We can purchase a replica of the district plaque and the state plaque. They're going to have one in Richland and obviously one here at Lakeway. I believe they're going to do the same thing with the district and the state banner there. I don't know if it's going to be red and black. And I was actually just telling them that about some of the breaking down the walls of the stigma. I could care less, honestly, if we're wearing red and black or orange and black or purple and green. And it doesn't matter, because when we're taking the field, ultimately, we are one school. And we have to wear a uniform, and that's because MSHSAA says we do. Otherwise, I wouldn't care, you know. And that's the kind of atmosphere we try to create in the co-op, is one that isn't divided. We're one team. It doesn't matter what uniform we're wearing. Yeah, we're playing for the name on the jersey that's on the front, but not the one on the back. But in the end, we're Lakeway Richland.
Well, one example of that up there in basketball every year is Platte Valley, where a lot of people wonder who is that and where are they. It's, I forgot what the two schools are, but they're up there in northern Missouri. Two schools that, you know, for several years shared state titles back and forth, where one would be the main co-op, then it bounced back and forth, and that kind of stirred a little issue with MSHSAA there, because they used a logo in one of the championship games, and MSHSAA after that said, no, that's not. You got to be official So you're
Oh, school,
like you're
yeah.
talking about the rules the way they are,
Yeah.
but that may be something to look forward to if this continues for long
I think
term
it's coming.
as
I
some
think-
sort of combined logo or some sort of combined name or something.
When I told him I was interested in co-oping, I said we will be the first of many. There's a good chance that we didn't have a softball program this year. We didn't have enough girls. There's a good chance we're co-oping with Richland for softball next year. It's going to be it's going to become a common trend throughout small school sports. It's inevitable. The only sports that are not, and the reason there are so many basketball schools in the state of Missouri is because it really only takes 5 people to play the game.
Well, look at the Dixon Lady Bulldogs playing tomorrow in the championship with 7 girls, and sometimes, I remember we won a cross-country championship with 5 girls.
Yeah.
So some sports take 5 girls, but soccer is one where you have to have
15,
9 to 15 or more.
15 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even baseball, softball. You got to have at least 9 to play the game. 11 realistically. You can't play the game of baseball with 9 players because of the pitching rotation and pitch counts that they have in this one. So you have to have 13, 15 people. You just can't do it. And it's these small schools with the number of kids that are getting more caught up in either working early or social media or other activities other than physical sports and competing. The only way you're going to keep doing it is co-oping.
Yep. All right, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Good luck this spring season here, and thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.